Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Rogue Agent Answers. My name is the Rogue Agent. Some people call me David Lewis, and every week I answer one of the many life insurance related questions that I've received from clients, from email subscribers on the daily email list, questions floated to me from across the interwebs, in the comments sections, which I know you're not supposed to read, or just interactions that I've had with people in real life over the past 20 years, which is a long time. And some of these questions I just scribbled down on scrap pieces of paper. Some of these are stuff I've written down on my phone. Some of it is on Post-it notes scattered all over the office. And every week I answer one of those questions. So if you'd like to ask your question, drop them in the comments section or join my email list for more life insurance tips and advice at monogenics.com. monegenics.com. And now for this week's question.
All right. How do policy loans affect my policy? Okay. So policy loans usually have several different effects on your life insurance policy. So I guess first and foremost is the obvious. You're going to pay interest on the policy loan. And then the insurance company charges that interest based on one of a couple different factors. The most common way that they're going to do it is they charge interest daily, which is called it's called a daily accrual method. And that's going to be based on the current outstanding loan principal balance. So at the end of the year, they bill you for the interest. So it accrues daily and then it bills annually. If you don't pay the loan interest, the insurance company is going to add it to the loan balance and then start charging you interest on the new larger loan amount. So in essence, it compounds. So you know, most people, they don't want that to happen. So the general recommendation is to just go ahead and at least pay the interest on the loan, which is why it's so important to have a loan repayment plan whenever you borrow money against your life insurance policy. Maybe there's some exceptions to that, but for the most part, you're going to want to have some kind of loan repayment plan, and if only to just pay the interest on the loan. So as I've mentioned in another Q&A somewhere, the loan payments have kind of an opposite effect in regards to if you think of like if you don't make payments, then the loan compounds. When you're making loan payments, especially if you're doing it throughout the year, instead of waiting until the end of the year, each loan payment that you make during the year pays down principal, the loan principal. So that reduces the amount of loan interest you pay at the end of the year, because the insurance company it assesses how much loan principal you have, and then interest accrues daily, but it's only accruing on the current outstanding loan principal. So if like, you know, you take out a loan in January, and you start paying it down immediately, then your loan principal is immediately going down. So policy loans can potentially be compounding, if you don't pay, them, but they can also save you a bunch of money if you do pay them off on a regular schedule. So all policy loans are collateralized against your policy's cash surrender value and death benefits. So taking out a loan against your policy does reduce your net cash value available for future use. It also reduces the death benefit until the loan is repaid. So anyway, I guess that would be a consequence. There's also a corresponding decrease. I mentioned that corresponding decrease in the death benefit. Let's see, what else? It's not an all or nothing proposition. I think a lot of people kind of look at it kind of a certain way. Each loan payment does restores an equal amount of cash value and death benefit. So paying off the loan, it's not a permanent reduction. It's a temporary reduction. So again, just the idea is you want to pay off your loans. Why do loans reduce the death benefit? I mean, that's, I guess, another question that comes up is, because, and the reason is because the cash value is the net present value of the death benefit, which ties into another question about, the insurance company stealing your cash value. That's one I actually did answer in another Q&A. The cash value is part of the death benefit. It is the net present value of the death benefit. So when you borrow against it, it's going to reduce the death benefit. So cash value is the cash reserve that's used to pay the future death benefit. So when you buy whole life, you're buying a future savings in a sense. Policy loans allow you to borrow against that future right now. It's kind of like the big, the big picture benefit of how that all works. Anyway, I hope that helps. Policy. There's a lot more to say about policy loans, but how it affects it basically temporarily reduces your death benefit and cash value until the loan gets paid off, and also the interest that you have to pay on it. Those are the big things. Anyway, again, hope that helps, and thanks for listening, and I will see you in the next one.
Okay, that's it for this week's question. If you'd like to add your question to the list, just drop them in the comment section or send me an email. And if you want more life insurance tips and advice, just head on over to monogenics.com, MONEGENIX.com, and sign up for my daily email list.